Hey everybody. Today is Friday, January the 8th. It's about 11:30 here in Alabama. Um, Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shelly, and I'm a quilter and a cross-stitcher, sometimes tatter, bag maker sometimes. But anyway, if you're new, I'm glad you decided to check me out. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. So this is a little bit of a move you down a little bit sooner than I normally would film a video, but I felt like I needed to come on and talk about some things. The events of this week, earlier this week, the riots and siege of our capital, denouncing it. I'm denouncing it. It was a terrible thing, unthinkable. People died for, I don't know, for what, but I will say that I am a conservative with leanings toward libertarian. In the 2016 election, I was still of the mindset that voting for a third-party candidate was throwing my vote away. And I felt like I had to choose between the lesser of two evils in my eyes. And I did vote for Donald Trump. I did not want to vote for Donald Trump. I was never on the Trump bandwagon. I mean, I saw people that, Christian friends of mine that, if a Democrat had done what he was just accused of, doing, if a Democrat was accused of that, they would have been livid and, all up in arms. But you didn't hear a peep. It was just like, oh my God, he's so great. He's not great. The events of the last year, especially with COVID, when he came out of the hospital with his episode with COVID and stood there and said that, COVID's not that bad. I have never been so ashamed of my president as I was at that time. Not even back during the Monica Lewinsky fiasco. I think the man is a total narcissist. I think he's totally out of touch with reality. I think that he is callous and crude, and he just says stuff that's so out of touch and so condescending and just, I don't know. I think it's appalling that, first of all, I think that he did incite what happened earlier this week at the Capitol. And then to come out after, or, toward the end of it and said, go home. We love you. You're great. Never denouncing what they had done. Of course, why would he? Because he incited it, right? Anyway, that's where I stand on the current events. But the thing that I really wanted to address, really wanted to talk about today, is this trend And, I follow mostly stitchers is who I follow. Um, some celebrities, singers, things like that, but it's mostly the stitching community, either quilting or cross stitch. Um, and I saw a couple of posts yesterday, and this is what I want to address. So I saw a post from someone that basically said, if you support Trump, or if you're not, talking about it, um, get the F off my channel, unfollow me. I think that it's sad that, anybody who says, they're for tolerance and inclusion, I am too. But to say that you're, for that, and then to say that unless you agree with me, or unless you're doing what I think you should be doing in response to this, that's when you're tolerated and included. If you're not, then unfollow me and get the F off my channel. If what I'm saying upsets anyone, and you want to unsubscribe, unfollow me on Instagram, unfriend me on Facebook, that's your right. That's your, it's your right. I mean, I'm not going to be hurt over or anything like that. I just wish that we could, I hope you don't, because I think that no matter what I'm saying, or no matter what I'm not saying, or no matter what I believe, why can't we just, I don't know, accept people for who they are, where they are, how they choose to handle and deal with. When back in this earlier in 2020, the murder of George Floyd, I didn't really say anything. I think I maybe just said, the things that are going on in our country, that it was sad, and it did. But there was so many in the stitching community that basically said, if you're not talking about it or denouncing it openly on your platform, then, I don't want to have anything to do with you. And I did unfollow some people because I think it's bullying, basically. And I unfollowed some people yesterday, which I think is sad. Just because, not because of them believing what they believe or them address it. Believe what you want, say what you want, but don't tell everybody else that if you don't agree with me or you don't handle it the way I think you should, then I don't want you following me. That's what I wanted to talk about today. I don't like it. I saw someone earlier on Instagram stories, who said, thanks for all of you that are saying, unfollow me because I don't believe or I don't act or react to what's happening the way you think I should. Yeah, thank you for, bringing unity to our society. I think that there's room for everybody. I wish that we didn't have a two-party system only. This election, I went in the voting. I actually thought about not even voting because I was so disgusted over what my choices were. Why are two old white men the only choices that we have in America in 2020? And, I didn't know a single thing about who was the independent on the ballot, but that's who I voted for. And I wish that, I didn't feel like, I don't know, I wish that I no longer feel that I was throwing my vote away, but I wish that we had a atmosphere where it wasn't just the two parties that, have a chance. So that's what I wanted to talk about. And it's going to be really hard to segue from that to stitching. But anyway, that was on my heart. You probably will, I'm not going to say never, but it's not what my channel, that's not what I want my channel or my feeds to be about, because I don't like the turmoil that all of this, the anxiety that all of this brings. I don't watch the news. I'll read, articles occasionally when I see things pop up. I don't watch it. My husband watches it and he rants and raves at the TV, and it drives me crazy. Like, why are you watching something that makes you so angry? I don't get it. I don't want that for my life. I'm about living my life in the day to day. And I think if we were all like that, about, being kind, love one another as we love ourselves, love your neighbor as yourself. If we really did that, then all of this turmoil wouldn't be happening. So that's what I try to focus on, is what can I do, in my day-to-day life, to try to make things better. So that's it on that. Okay. So I do have a little bit of stitching to share. Maybe more than a little bit, but I did want to show a previous finish. This is my hands-on design January year of celebrations. I think it's so cute. This is stitched on 28 count tea-dyed Monaco using the, I don't remember. I usually, on these, I would use some of the called for if I had them. Like, she would do like a fancy floss and then a DMC conversion. And I would just sort of pick, colors that were close if I didn't have what was called for. Some of them I changed it up completely because I didn't like the colors. They weren't my style. But anyway, that's that. I also, the monthly magazine challenge group on Facebook, my plans for this month was to do these little smalls that was in CrossStitch Magazine last year. And they had like, those magazines, you get like a little freebie in them. I get them on Readly. That's how I get my magazines. It's a once a month, fee, and you get access to tons of magazines. So that's how I do it. I don't get the printed one. But last year, the little free gift in January was some kind of little, it was like a calendar. And you could stitch these things to go like behind the cutout on the calendar. I don't have the calendar, but I did want to do the little designs, basically because everything else I work on is so huge that I just wanted a few little finished things, simple finishes that I could get done. So I did finish January and February, and I hot glued it, washer to the stitch piece, magnet to the board that this is on, but the hot glue didn't hold. I need to get some E6000. But anyway, last weekend my husband and I went to Athens and went to Dollar General, and I found these little, I'm trying to think of inexpensive ways to, so I saw this little wood piece that, was just bare wood. I painted it with just some acrylic paint that I had. And I was like, I could probably just rest it against something. I could maybe glue or, tack down something to hang it. But then I went a little further down the aisle and saw these little easels. I think this was like $1 and this was like $1.56. So it just rests on there. And then, like I said, I need to E6000 the piece, the magnet to the board. And then I'll just do washers on each piece to change it out. So this is the January one. These are designed by, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on her name, but it's Tiny Modernist. I don't remember what her name is. Cheryl McKinnon, that's it. So I'm stitching these on 14 count Aida and the color French lace. Some of the called for, some of my own choices. If I didn't have what was in it, I would, substitute for something else. And, I'll stitch this just in a couple days. Not that like whole days, but, like an hour stitching on it a day. So I just did a little straight little bow. I took some grosgrain ribbon and just tacked down this little picoed edge ribbon, and then around where I put the wire on the bow, I put a piece of little trim that I had just to cover the wire, because I didn't have any. I don't have a big stash of like doodads for seasons. I did organize that the other day. Over the holidays, I got all of my DMCs off of bobbins on the thread drops. So I took those containers that my bobbins were in and made one that's like, winter, spring, and then summer and fall. So I can kind of separate those out, just trying to get a little more organized. So when I cut this, I wasn't paying real close attention, and I cut this side like I had about that much to work with. So this is just mounted on a comic book board. No batting or anything, because I didn't have, I didn't need the thickness along here because I had so little material, but it worked. I just glue it down with Eileen's tacky glue. And then I did this blue fabric also on comic book board. So that is January. And I also got February finished. This was one of my goals for the magazine challenge, was to get both of these done so that I could be sort of ahead. So this one, she had the heart in the middle, and then she had bunnies on the side. And I didn't really feel bunnies for February. So I just did 2 more hearts. I don't think I had all of the call for, so some of them I had to choose my own. I did mount this on sticky board with batting behind it, and trimmed it with some little mini baby pom-pom, and then just took a piece of fabric and put it on the comic book board. And then I had, you can see it, the fuchsia ribbon. That would have been a little bright by itself. So I just laid this heart ribbon that I had, and it kind of muted the colors. And I did the wire around the middle, and I was like, I don't know what to put there. Like, I didn't have anything to put there to cover up the wire. And my wire is in my little, it's like a little tackle box sort of thing that has all of my beading and stuff in it. And I saw these little pearls, and I was like, I wonder if that would work. I did try to hot glue them so that they would cinch up, but it didn't hold. But anyway, I mean, I think that's a cute idea. Something else to, think about hiding your wire when you're doing your ribbons. Okay, so that's my finishes. Except for, I did finish my client's piece, the little pond. and I've already given it to her. So, get it where the glare is not on it. So this is the piece. I think it's so cute. I did block out the baby's name just for privacy reasons. But there's mistakes in this where I lost count and didn't realize that I was off count till way down the line. And since it was a kid, I was nervous about running out of thread. So I didn't go back and frog anything. I just fudged it, and you can't tell at all. There's so much, I don't know. It's just, the greenery is just, looking wild looking anyway. So everything worked out, when I went to backstitch, I didn't have like huge problems, going around the animals that had mistakes in them. I think it's interesting that whenever I was stitching this piece, and even when I would hold it back and look at it, I really couldn't, I couldn't see the ripples. But as soon as I took a picture, it was like, wow, those are ripples. I mean, I knew it was water, but I didn't realize that it was making, a ripple effect. So anyway, I finished that, which was a huge, weight off. And she was happy with the piece. She's going to, I talked to her last night, and she was saying that she was thinking about maybe doing like a whitewashed frame with maybe she's trying to decide if she wants to mat it or not. So I said maybe, a green mat to kind of pull the grains out. So she said she would send me a picture when she got the frame. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Okay, so that's all my finishes. My whips, I've been spinning the wheel for a weekly focus piece, and then spinning the wheel for my daily themes, and then I've been working on the magazine challenge pieces. I did flub a few times this week, thinking that I rolled or spun, one thing, like this one right here. After I stitched on it yesterday, I realized this was not what the wheel chose. But it doesn't matter. But anyway, this is Patchwork Autumn from Jardin Privé. And this is my progress. So last time I showed it, I just had this leaf and part of the branch. So I finished the branch, put the leaves, did the squirrel. And the squirrel is in a sulky thread. And then I also did a little bit of more of this border last night. And that's also a sulky. So once I finish that border and do the leaf right here in the corner, then I just have this little, backstitched, my backstitch straight stitch grid. So I definitely will finish this before this fall. So yay for that. And I think I'm going to finish it with this piece of fabric behind it. We'll see if I change my mind before then. After I did my whip parade, I did have to get a second basket for my whips. They were getting a little crowded. I actually didn't get a basket. I just took a laundry basket out of my laundry room. I figured I would get something later if I really need it. So this came up on my wheel this week, and I love it. I don't know why I don't stitch on it more, because it is just so, so pretty. And I did start this at the bottom. This is on a mystery fabric that I got from my L&S in Huntsville. So I already had the E, I had the flowers up here, and I didn't have anything on the bottle yet, or the base, so I worked on that earlier in the week. And I think this might be another one that I worked on the wrong piece, but I don't care. I think it's so pretty. That, and just look at the flowers. Aren't they lovely? So I will definitely won't have this done for this Valentine's, but that's okay. And these are the threads. I'm pretty sure I'm using all the called for. And sometimes I'll do those cards like that. And sometimes what I've been doing lately is just doing floss tags. Okay, let's see. My focus piece for this week was the bloom jar. I did take all of my chalk fulls and put them in together in this big gingham on the go bag. I don't know if Fat Quarter Shop still sells these sets, but it was a set of 3, and I love these bags. They do have some new ones. Lori Holt just came out with one called the Dottie bag, and they also have, they're doing, Fat Quarter Shop's doing a Be Mine stitch along for February, and they have a, it's sort of like this with the gingham, but it has like a heart down here. It's real cute. So anyway, I'll put all of those together in this bag. And this is the pattern. This is a collaboration between Hands On Design and Priscilla Blaine. And I'm working on the large piece. And hang on one second. Grab a board to put behind these pieces. So this is my progress. I think what I had before was just like the very top of the jar, and like maybe these 4 flowers right here. So I've added these flowers, went down on the jar. I also added the little centers of some of the daisies, which is Smyrna crosses. I love doing those. This is 14 count chalkboard black, and these are the called for flosses. I was in the club that Fat Quarter Shop had, so I got everything that I needed. And I have so much of this chalkboard left over, it's crazy. You'll see it on another piece in a minute. Okay, so that was my focus piece. Basically, depending on what I have going on and how much time I have to stitch, I've kind of been, what I've been doing is first thing in the morning, except for yesterday and today, because I was doing a major reorganizing in my craft cave office. But first thing in the morning, I try to get my daughter's quilt that I'm hand quilting. I'm hand quilting it with like 6 arcs stacked on top of it like a rainbow. So I've been trying to, first thing in the morning after I have breakfast, I'll come, found a really good setup. I sit in my stitching chair, which is right over there. And then I'll put the office chair that I'm sitting in right now, I'll put the quilt on that in my hoop and pull that up to me, and it works really well. I'm really pleased with that little setup. But anyway, I'm trying to, focus on getting one of those arcs done every day. Every weekday is my goal, because I want to get that finished for her before her birthday this year, which is in October. Okay, that was a little tangent. What was I what did I start? Oh, I was telling you my routine. So, you know, the focus piece, I might stitch on it maybe an hour in the evening every day. Okay, let's see. And this is the, let's see, hang on. Let me find my Readly. So, one thing that I started since last video, I think it was, did I already start it? I don't remember if I showed it last video or not. I may have, but anyway, I've made a little bit more progress on it. Oh, now my internet's gonna be slow. Okay, so the piece is this Nativity Silhouette, and I am stitching it on the chalkboard black Ada that I had gobs and gobs left over from the club, and that's my progress. I've had to substitute some of the colors because I didn't have them, or like the top color that I called for, my dye lot was not dark enough, so I just changed it out. There's a lot of stitching on this. These are the colors that I have pulled so far. I am going to, since I'm stitching it on black fabric, I am going to not stitch the silhouette, the figures in the silhouette. That'll save me some time. And that's just, I'll work on that whenever I pull it up on the wheel. That was part of December's magazine challenge. And I think I talked about this last time. It didn't dawn on me when I was doing January's challenge to use some of the older pieces that I wanted to do with the challenge instead of creating new ones. I'll remember that next month, maybe. Next, this is the Stitch Quarterly Home piece. Homegrown is the name of the, and this is a club that Fat Quarter Shop does. I'm not in it anymore. I'm not really big into Santa Claus, so when they showed the little sneak peek and I saw that it was going to be Santa Claus, it was like, this is a good time to just get out. Especially since I've been laid off. So, I showed you last time that I had done the outline of the M so that I could bring it to my grandson's basketball games. And that's what I did at his basketball game last week. And he has 2 games tomorrow, and then his brother has a game also. So I should be able to get this M filled in. Might have to, I don't know, work on outlining the rest so I'll have it ready to go. So that is stitched on 14 count whitewashed board Ada by Fabric Flare, and I'm using the call for DMCs, and everything was in the little bag, the kit. So this is a great deal if you have thought about it. I don't know if they have slots open, but you can always get on a waiting list, but I really like them. Okay. And then something else that the wheel chose this week was to work on this again. It hadn't been very long since I worked on it before. And let's see. I did decide to, this is Doreen Jones's free garden stitch along pattern. I did decide she has like a border around the inside of the back stitch borders that is made of cross stitches. I'm not going to do those. So I finished this one, except for I just have to do the back stitching on the little butterfly. They had more butterflies. I left them off. And then I started the one below it with that beautiful, beautiful flower. And That is stitched on a 22 count white Aida that I got from Michaels, whatever their brand is that they sell. Let me see if I don't have a picture. So anyway, if you go to her Facebook page, Doreen Jones's Facebook page, she has albums for each year with freebies, and she really does give a lot of freebies away on that page. And this is in the one and only Goose Designs bag I have. And this one was my New Year's Day start. I did change it and put it in this bag because the bag I had it in was a little small for the leaflet. And so I put it in my Love My Stitching bag just to give it a little bit more room. But it is Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais. Makes me drool. And this is all I stitched on New Year's Day, and that's the only day I've stitched on it so far. But this is my progress. This is on a 36 count platinum linen that I got from Dames of the Needle on Etsy. And that's my progress. I basically wanted to make some progress on the border, but I really wanted to get over to the house just to see how the colors were going to look on my fabric. And then these are the call for, which I have put on a ring with my little ring bling. I don't know what else to call it, from Barbara, Nevada Stitcher. Love these colors. Gorgeous. I had a lot of fun stitching on that New Year's Day. The fabric is nice. It's definitely the appropriate size, not like the other one that I bought from them that was atrociously small. Okay, let's see. And then the other thing that the wheel chose was the Beloved House from Waxing Moon Designs, the Valentine House Trio. And these are in my Eat, Sleep, Stitch, Repeat bag. This is a pattern by Lori Holt that I stitched up on a 25 count platinum Lugana. No, not platinum, pewter. And then I made this little project bag out of it, which I love. And let's see. I hadn't stitched on this in a long while. So I had the vine, the heart, all of this outer part done. I had the key done. I had just a small, well, no, I had like all of this done. So I stitched like the rest of the top of the house and then started going on the other windows. This is stitched on a 28 count Wichelt linen in the color China Pearl that I got from Fat Quarter Shop. I did get China Pearl again from them, and the colors were not the same, so the dye lot was definitely different. But it has a little pink tinge to it, which I love. And I'm stitching that with Autumn.Stitches on Instagram, her color conversion. Okay, that is that's what I worked on. I did start this morning on a magazine piece magazine challenge piece, but the frog came to visit, so I'm having to pull all of it out, which is disappointing, but it happens, right? But it is this little cutie ornament. So I spent some time last night kitting it up. I'm doing this on a 14 count white opalescent Aida that I got from Hobby Lobby. So I put the W in, and then I missed a stitch on this leg of it, and so the leg was shorter than the others. So I couldn't figure out how to get it where I could just do part of it, removing part of the stitches. So I just said, no, I'm just gonna cut it all out. And then I got interrupted before I could completely finish it. So I'll work on that a little bit later today. Okay, that's it for my whips this week. I have started keeping track of Teresa Little Stitcher on FlossTube. She does this, like she keeps track of how many days during the month she stitches on a project. I don't know if I'll keep doing it, but I wanted to try it for the month of January. So, and I spilled water on my planner, but so I just started keeping track of it. And as many whips as I have, it might end up being, all the way across on this page. I don't know, depending on what the wheel gives me. Okay, so I have a little bit of haul. Let's see. Niecy Lynn had talked about these mixed media Fiskars scissors for cutting mat board circle shapes. So I picked these up on Amazon. They came in this week. When I was organizing in here yesterday, I found a set of circle templates, different sizes of circle templates that I didn't even remember I had. They were just up on my pegboard, and I was moving stuff around on it, and it's like, perfect, I need this. Okay. Speaking of Autumn Stitches on Instagram, she will share every now and then this dyer, and so I've seen the colors that she's using or whatever. It's made me go look at her Etsy shop. So I did go look at her Etsy shop, and she had this piece, and I was like, okay, I'm going to order from you. And then she had a like just the fabric itself wasn't enough to get me free shipping. And I don't know about y'all, but pay for shipping or pay for more supplies. Please, more supplies. So I had to get a few little overdyed cottons from her. This is not showing up. There you go. There you go. So I just sort of thought of of course this I bought because it's purple. I love purple. But I sort of thought of some things I, wish I had more of in my stash. Very pretty. And then this is the fabric. So this is a 36 count linen, a 17 by 26, which I think is a fat quarter. And the color is called Victorian Rose. And this is it. It's not really showing up as dark as it is in real life. But look at that modeling. Fold it out and hold it back a little bit. It's showing up more pink in real life, at least under my lighting right now. It looks a little more lavender, kind of right there. Gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I don't know what I'm going to stitch on that, but like I said, I wanted to try ordering from her. And I went to Joann to get some floss that I needed. And of course I had to go down the aisles that had their Christmas clearance. So I bought these 3 spools of ribbon. Don't have any real ideas. I just picked some that I thought I liked to finish things with. And then I also picked up this box. Sorry. This red top. I thought it was just gorgeous. So I was thinking about basically finishing a piece to put on the top. I don't know if I'll do my Quaker Christmas or Quaker de Noël from Jardin Privé, or the Mary Jar maybe. I don't know. But even if I don't finish a piece for the top of it, I'll still love the box. And I also got just a piece of 16 count antique white Aida. I think I had a project in mind, or maybe I was looking ahead at some of the stuff that I had on the magazine challenge, and I just picked that up and used my coupon that I had. One of the shops on Etsy that I ordered from before, Fat Farmer's Attic, I got on her mailing list, and she sent out a little an email saying that it was basically like a $5 off any purchase of $5 or more. So I went to see what she had in her shop, and she had this. This is one of the other ones in the series that my Bluebird of Happiness is in. I don't know if I'll stitch all of this series, but this one, that snow at the bottom, and that bluebird, cardinal, oh my goodness. So this is from Cottage Garden Samplings, is the designer. Beautiful. So she stitched the model on 36 count dove linen. Just had a thought. So I am definitely doing stitching book clubs. So I pulled this fabric out the other day to kind of see if it would maybe do good for that. I don't know if it will. I may try my hand at dyeing some fabric, because the piece that she's doing for Sense and Sensibility is just gorgeous. So yeah, I will stitch this on that, even though it's 28 count, so it will be larger, but that's what my Bluebird is on. So I definitely think that's a winner. It's a little bit lighter, but I think it'll be okay. Of course, I'll test out the white on it to make sure it shows up. Okay, so I did get, I haven't been doing really hardly any quilting. You know, just after COVID, I really haven't felt like myself, and I'm starting to get back to feeling like myself now, but I did get kind of wrapped up in doing home organization stuff. So let me keep it real for a minute. I don't know why, because if I was at a job, I would love doing this. But at home, I detest having to file paperwork. So every year, at the end of the year, I'm filing at least 6 to 8 months, if not the whole year worth of papers. So I sat down to do that the other day. I was just gonna, it's like I'll work on it 15 minutes a day. Um, my husband, he wants to be able to finish something all at once. I don't want to spend all day doing a chore. I want to have time to stitch. So I sat down to, start filing stuff away. I started sorting a pile, putting things in the folders toward the end of the 15 minutes. And I'm looking in the box and I'm going, why don't I have, always make a folder that says whatever year it is in taxes so I can put like tax information in it. So when I'm ready to file taxes, I just have to pull that and my medical and, business type things, work supplies, etc., and I'm ready to go. So I go get a folder, I sit down, and I'm looking at the folders that are in the box. And it didn't even dawn on me, I wrote on the folder 2019 taxes. And then I went, wait a minute. So I had not even made folders for 2020. So anyway, I realized that I had to regroup. So I have to make folders for 2020, make folders for 2021, and I also have to purge 2 years of old files. So when I realized that I had to purge files, the place where my filing cabinet was in an inconvenient place with my little finishing cart that I have for CrossStitch. So yesterday, all day long, I worked on reorganizing my office, my craft cave office. So I just moved a lot of stuff around, having to move a lot of stuff off of things to be able to move it in place somewhere else. I like the setup though. I still have a one of those beach, pull buggies. I have a buggy full of basically full of stuff that just needed to be, I need to go through it and decide what I want to do with it. So anyway, that's what I spent all day doing yesterday. And I'm, doing a little bit still this morning. And then I just decided, it'll be next week before I start actually making the folders and then spending 15 minutes a day filing. All of that to say that I haven't been doing really much quilting. But I did get the next block cut out for the coriander Christmas quilt. My next block. I actually have another one that came in that I haven't even starched the fabric for. I've had that on my list for 2 weeks to cut it and piece it, and I still haven't pieced it. So hopefully soon. I probably won't get a lot done tomorrow because we have 3 basketball games to go to. So, but anyway, that's what I'm up to. That's what my plans are. I'm going to continue organizing. So that Christmas block, this is my stitchy calendar plans. So I did go ahead and this is my monthly magazine challenge pieces. And this is my weekly focus piece. I went ahead and spun the wheel for the whole month. So I probably needed to show y'all that. I don't know if I did anything else on it since I did my last video. I don't think I did. I think I showed you my progress all on that. I didn't stitch on it past the 31st or 30th when I did my last video. Anyway, so this week was Bloom Jar. Next week is Collecting Colors. Then Patchwork Autumn, which I showed you earlier. And then the Doreen Jones Garden Sow, which I also showed earlier. So those are the focus pieces that I will work on every day for a solid week. And then I also have my Like today is Flora, Fauna, and Filigree Friday. And I spun the Bluebird of Happiness, so I will be working on that today. I put down that I wanted to work on the Let It Snow top row, but when I pulled it out and started working on it this morning, that was my goal of what I wanted to get finished. When I pulled it out to start working on it this morning, I realized that the top part of it is back stitching and there's no stitches around it. So it would be a little problematic to start up there because I wouldn't have any other stitching to tie off to start because it's one strand of back stitching. So that's why I started at the bottom on the W and messed it up, and now I've got a frog. But that's my plans, and you know, the pink highlights is when I've actually done something, so it looks good to me. I mean, I'm happy with my progress so far this month. I'm happy to just be feeling like myself again. Okay, guys, this is almost an hour long, like it is every time. But I am done. I've shared everything I needed to share with you. And I hope y'all have a good weekend. I hope you get lots of stitching time in. And I will see y'all probably in a few weeks. Okay, love you guys. Bye.